welcome. This is Common Ground. I'm Jason Downs. So glad you guys are here today. Uh, we're going to be talking about the future of small businesses in America with an eye toward creating opportunity for the black community since our country's focus has shifted these last couple of weeks since the murder of George Floyd. From the coronavirus to addressing and hopefully finally solving the economic inequality and disenfranchisement black people have had to endure in this country since its inception. Because all of this goes hand in hand, really. The economic future of this country, the social health, the mental health, all go hand in hand with the immediate effects of the coronavirus shutdown and the long-term effects of systemic racism in this country. So how do we achieve the seemingly impossible? How? Together, united, as Americans, as friends, neighbors, and family, we achieve the impossible by lifting each other up, which is the entire message of Black Lives Matter. We need to lift up our brothers and sisters to the same level playing field because no lives matter until all lives matter. And black lives have not mattered in this country for too long. This whole racism thing is just old. Are you with me? It's just so tired for 2020. It's so 1620. We've come a long way in 400 years. Let's go ahead and knock this thing out for good because it is good and it's for the good of all. We lift up those people in this country we've been oppressing and we all benefit. Watch the renaissance that happens in this country when we finally level the playing field and finally elevate black lives and the lives of all minorities in this country to the level that we've been elevating white lives. Just watch. It'll knock your socks off. It'll be the America we all grew up believing in and dreaming of. And isn't it exhausting? I mean, isn't it so much less stressful to live and let live when you're not using all that energy to hold your knee on someone else's neck, holding them down and keeping them down? Let them rise, let them be, let them live and let live and see how great this country can be. And there's my diatribe. Before we introduce our first guest for today, a quick shout out to one of our wonderful sponsors, the law offices of Lou Esbin. When experience counts, count on experience at esbinlaw.com. 35 years serving the Santa Clarita Valley and beyond. Lou specializes in bankruptcy, business law, and commercial protection. Schedule a consultation with Lou today at esbinlaw.com or 661-254-5050. All right, and now it is my pleasure to introduce Chris Lynch and Michael McClune from International Business Accelerator. The perfect guest to kick off our focus today on small businesses. Chris and Michael, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
So glad you guys are here. Chris Lynch is a global business thought leader, which I love, and founder of the International Business Accelerator. He's an economist by training. He was a career U.S. Foreign Service officer dealing with economic and business policy issues in D.C. and at 5 U.S. embassies in Europe and Latin America. He has mentored more than 200 startups through business incubators, accelerators, and small business development programs. He currently heads the Community Vitalization Council and was previously VP for Economic Development at the Irvine and Santa Rosa Chambers of Commerce in California. He also speaks fluent German and Spanish, so guten Tag and buenos dias. I had the pleasure of being inspired by you guys, by these two gentlemen in regards to my own business pursuits after hearing about what they offer at a Rotary Club meeting. So Chris, we'll start with you. Tell us why you began the International Business Accelerator and why it's so vital for the new economy we're going to be building over the next year or so.
Yeah, you can see my background very much was global, and that's how I approach things, having so much experience overseas. Here in the United States, international business has always been viewed as something a little bit scary or unfamiliar or something like that. And what it does is it leaves, for small business, it just leaves a lot of opportunities on the table. You know, we're only 25% of the world's purchasing power here in the United States. So if you think of your business as just the U.S., then you're basically, like playing football inside your own 25-yard line. And more importantly, in today's world, if you have technology, if you have a website, you're already a global business. So what we try and do is to give small businesses are perfectly now capable with all the new tools out there of doing business any place. And there's all kinds of supports that can make it more profitable than even doing business at home.
Well, like I said, I love what you're putting down. So, Michael McClune, let's ask something of you. You're Chris's business partner now for several years at International Business Accelerator, and you also have extensive experience in international business as an entrepreneur, a business owner the past 20 years. You graduated UPenn and worked in New York City at a tech company for a while. You worked in Chile, and you have worked assisting founders with international trade. Let's see, what else here? You've basically helped Chris expand this business from Orange County and Long Beach into LA Silicon Beach, right? And downtown LA and San Fernando Valley.
Correct.
You guys basically help small businesses become globally focused companies. So we were talking a little bit before we started. Since you're so well versed in helping minorities and immigrants and non-Americans, what's your insight or advice as to how America can level the playing field for Black people in this country?
Well, it's a pretty profound question. If we keep it just within the small business lens, we see, part of our job, part of our mission is first and foremost education of, listen, we're American, and we've been very lucky over the last, several hundred years. We have all the resources that we've ever needed here within our borders, and that mindset, comes into entrepreneurialism and small business ownership in that, we have everything here that we need to put food on our table. Excuse me. And, Chris and I have to convince people that there's a bigger world out there. And, numerically, as Chris mentioned, there's 75 to 80% of the business is not in America. So, we can explain to people that, California is big, and it's great. California has, 40 million people, I think. You can go into UK or Canada, and, Canada has about the same population, same diversity as we have, so you're doubling those numbers. UK the same, and then we also say, hey, what about Ethiopia or Nigeria or Kenya, which are booming economies over the long term, and their GDP is growing, and Africa has 55 countries that are all in one union that now we have free trade agreements with. So, these are just that extra 10 or 15% that opens up so much more interaction with other businesses, other cultures, other economies. So it's sort of a socioeconomic lesson that we present before we get into the nuts and bolts of running a business.
So,
answer your question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and I would answer to there too. It's our through the lens that we're looking at. Looking through is that, we tend to be very, European or Asian focused or whatever. The fact, one of the fastest growing areas of the world over the last decade has been actually East Africa. And, we try and get people interested in that. Over the long term, this is going to be the fastest growing region in the world. And by doing business, you get to know the other cultures, you get to interact with them as equals and so forth. And that really presents profound change in the way we do business and also the way you interact with the people around you.
Has language been a barrier, have you guys found, working with the small businesses and startups that you have dealt with?
No.
Surprisingly not as big as you would think. First of all, English tends to be the business language of the world, except for Latin America, where they do both English and Spanish. Michael and I both are fluent in Spanish, so that's no issue for us. But it's not only the language. It used to be all kinds of things we're worried about, paperwork and customs and so forth like that. And yes, there are things out there. It's complicated, but it's not complex, And so it's easier now to do business and to immerse yourself in the world than it's ever been.
It helps if you have folks like you and Michael, who are experts in the field and have done this many, many times to guide the way, which was so exciting for me when I spoke to you about some of my ideas. So, what is your ideal? Okay, somebody's listening right now. We've got a young black woman, or a young Latina, you know what I'm saying? And they've
Mhm.
either started their own business or thinking about starting a business. What's the process, and what would you recommend they do once they call you or contact you?
I mean, what they, it's obviously we like to work with people who are have a good business concept. They know their product. They've sort of been able up to the beta testing level at least. If they don't, ideally they have something going. But also too, they have a good founding team, and they're hungry to do the business and committed to do it. And then once you do that, you can start going through a lot of the legal work and